Why men over 40 should rethink heavy lifting. Have you noticed something interesting? Some of the biggest names in bodybuilding, the very people who spent decades lifting massive weights, do not train the same way forever. As they get older, many experienced lifters shift their focus away from chasing personal records and move towards smarter, more controlled training. Lighter weights, higher repetitions, better form, slower tempo, and workouts that challenge the muscle without beating up the joints. And that matters, because if you are a man over 40, your goal should not just be to get as huge as possible, like you're competing for the Olympia. Your goal should be to build a body that is muscular, healthy, functional, and pain-free for the next 20 years. Heavy lifting absolutely has its place. It builds strength, confidence, and power. But after 40, the question changes. It is no longer just, how much can I lift? It becomes, how can I keep building muscle without destroying my joints, wrecking my recovery, or training in a way my body can't sustain? According to the Hospital for Special Surgery, low-weight, high-rep training can help build muscular endurance and support overall fitness, and may be easier on the joints than constantly using heavier loads. And when you combine that with what research tells us about blood flow, circulation, and muscle function, the argument becomes even stronger. One of the biggest mistakes men make after 40 is training like they are still 25. At 25, you might be able to go into the gym, lift heavy, sleep 5 hours, eat whatever you want, and somehow still recover. But after 40, the body usually becomes less forgiving. Your muscles can still grow, but recovery often changes. Your joints may feel stiffer. Your shoulders may not love heavy pressing anymore. Your elbows might start talking to you after years of curls, presses, and rows. That does not mean you are weak. It means your training needs to become more intelligent. Muscle tissue often recovers faster than tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and joints. So even if your chest feels ready to train again, your shoulders or elbows may still be irritated from the last heavy workout. That is one of the biggest reasons higher rep, lower weight training can be so effective for men over 40. It allows you to train hard without always forcing your joints to handle maximal loads. Look at what many legendary bodybuilders do as they age. Ronnie Coleman is one of the strongest and most famous bodybuilders of all time. He built one of the most muscular physiques ever seen, but his career was also associated with extreme heavy lifting, and reports have documented the major surgeries and physical challenges he has faced later in life. This doesn't take away from his greatness, but it does teach us an important lesson. There is a difference between training to be the strongest person on the stage and training for lifelong health. Jay Cutler is another great example. As a 4-time Mr. Olympia, he built an elite physique, but in retirement, he has emphasized smarter training, managing volume, spacing workouts properly, and reducing unnecessary stress on the joints. That is the message men over 40 need to hear. You do not need to prove yourself with the heaviest dumbbells in the gym every week. You need a plan that lets you keep showing up. When you train with higher reps, your muscles fill with blood. That pump carries oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to working tissue. As long as this is achieved, you will see muscle growth. You do not necessarily need to train with or near your max weight. Next, we will break down how to structure higher rep workouts and how to build a long-term training plan for longevity. Now comes the practical question. If lifting lighter can still help build muscle, what does that actually look like in the gym? Metabolic stress is the burning sensation you feel during the last few repetitions, the swelling that creates a muscle pump. A lighter weight taken close to failure can still recruit a large amount of muscle fiber. That means a controlled set of 15 to 20 reps can create a powerful muscle-building signal, especially when you are not just moving the weight, but actively squeezing and controlling every rep. Your muscles don't care what number is written on the dumbbell. They care about effort. Stop training your ego and start training your muscles. For most compound exercises, aim for 8 to 15 repetitions. For isolation exercises, 12 to 20 repetitions often work exceptionally well. Recovery is where adaptation takes place. That means sleep becomes more valuable than another heavy set. When we age, restful sleep often becomes an afterthought. Regardless of what type of training you are doing, don't skip this crucial step in the recovery process. Sleep, nutrition, and hydration matter. The key message isn't to eliminate heavy lifting, it's to stop believing that every workout has to be heavy to build muscle. When you're 65 years old, would you rather tell people what you used to bench or still be able to train without pain? Building muscle after 40 isn't about proving how much weight you can lift. It's about finding a style you can stick with for years. Keep building strength, keep building muscle, but do so with a lower risk of injury. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and click the link in the video description to check out Return to Prime, the fitness plan targeting the 4 physiological systems that support muscle mass to help reverse muscle decline and build strength.